Hey everyone, welcome back to another edition of the Survival Trapper's Bible. And today I want to cover a couple of simple bird cage traps so that you can catch live game. This will also work on smaller, small furry game like rabbits, possums, things like that. And it's very simple to construct. There's a lot of methods out there that I see that are overly cordage intensive. We're going to show you a quick method that only uses a few feet of cord. And the first thing that you've got to do is find 2 straight sticks, tie a even length of string to both ends, and then we're just going to take and flip that over, and we're going to basically build almost like a Lincoln log cabin so that we can trap those birds in there. So you want to tie it even length, that's important. Then we're going to take our bank line, paracord, whatever you used. If you're doing it primitively, you'll make cordage, rawhide, a lot of different options out there. You're going to take and twist it and make a X in the middle. And then we've got a bunch of pre-cut sticks here, and I'm going to take my longest sticks and I'm just going to fill in the sides. And I'll do a row this way, and then the opposite direction. And we want fairly small sticks. You don't want real thick sticks, otherwise you'll have larger gaps in between each layer, and some of the smaller animals will be able to squeeze out of that. So I'm just going to keep stacking these up like a log cabin, and you can always come back and trim them to length later. They don't have to be perfect. We just want to make sure that it is very tight at the top and that all of these are cinched together real well. Once you get it built up to where the strings are very tight and it all holds together, then you're going to take your shorter sticks and you're going to create a platform at the top to close off the top. And this is going to be a spot that if you feel like you need it, you can add a heavy rock to weight down for rabbits and other game that would be capable of pushing this off. As far as birds are concerned, you don't really have to worry so much with birds, but other game you do. So I'm just going to keep plugging these in until it's continuous all the way across the top, and then I'll trim them off. You want to make sure that any gaps that you see, that you put enough sticks into there to where it fills those gaps up. Once you get your trap completed, then you're going to take and saw off kind of your loose ends. Just make sure that you don't accidentally nick your cord. And this trap really is fantastic for catching small birds, and one of the reasons we like to go after small birds is because they're very curious creatures. They usually, come in good numbers in certain areas. You want to put these around thickets, and they're just plain and easy. They're just easy to catch. So, in survival, we always start out with the small, little, easy stuff to get, and then we build up to the more difficult, larger animals. So birds is always one of our first go-tos. I'm just going to trim these up. And then something else you want to do is you want to take a stick and cut it to length here to where it overlaps to make sure that those top sticks don't slide around. Alright, once you get your box completed, then you've got to make your trigger system. There's a lot of options for that. We're going to show you this method, but we also like to use the no-string Paiute, and you can check out that in an earlier video. That same trigger system works well. So all you're going to do is make a straight cut here, a straight cut here, and then knock it against a tree or something like that, and it'll split apart. You want to cut about halfway in with your saw, and then flip it over, and then do the same thing maybe 1.5 inches away. You want to check to make sure that these lines meet up, so you keep sawing until they do. And then once you get them roughly lined up, then you're just going to take and whack it on a stick. And then take your knife and just kind of clean those edges out. Alright, so the first thing I want to do is I'm going to take my bank line. I've already got my trigger set here. I'm just going to tie this off. Nothing fancy, just a couple of overhand knots. You never want to waste cordage if you don't have to. So we're going to measure it so that we don't have hardly any excess. I'm taking cut it. I'm just going to burn the ends. You don't have to do that obviously, but feed it through. And now that I've got the length, I'm just going to go ahead and tie that off. So in order to take the slack out, just going to take and wrap the cordage around this. There you go. That's how you set it. There's a lot of things that you can use for bait. Birds are inherently curious animals, so sometimes a visual attractant such as other bird feathers or something colorful might be enough to draw their curiosity. But the best thing is seeds and what they normally eat. Things that aren't in great abundance, and it's, you know, something that would be very choice for them. There's also a lot of ways that you can construct these types of cages. You can make a traditional style basket, which can be done really quickly if you have vines or roots in great abundance, or willow or anything of that nature. Use the same type of trigger system. You can place a rock on top just like you can with this setup, and that's something that's pretty essential if you plan on catching rabbits. Rabbits like to tunnel and dig. You might also consider adding a trap door to the bottom. We have another video on the channel that describes how to do that. And what's interesting about building a trap door for the base of these is that you can tie them off and literally take the animal down to the creek and drown them, so that you don't have to worry about sticking your hand in there in case you catch like a squirrel or something along those lines. I guarantee you do not want to stick your hand inside of a cage with a squirrel in it. Those things will absolutely rip your fingers apart. So another thing to keep in mind, let's say that you've got some gaps and you have issue closing them with the sticks, or you want to camo it a little bit better and make it not look like a cage. You can take simple boughs or things of that nature, and you can just jam them into the individual gaps. And this trap, once you gather the materials, shouldn't take you more than about 15 minutes to make. So, it shouldn't take you more than 15 to 20 minutes to gather the materials and build it. So it's a fairly simple trap that you can build a lot of in a day. It's not too cordage intensive, and it's very easy to get, you know, birds and you know, things in these in a lot of different survival situations. So it's definitely something that you want to try out in a lot of different areas. Also look for transition areas. Birds like to you know, kind of shelter up in thicker areas a lot of the times next to fields, so that's always usually a good location to set your traps. You're going to want to place your bait inside of the area in between the two pieces of bank line here. That way when the bird comes over and tries to get at your bait, he's going to trip on the cord and the trap's going to fall on him. Okay guys, so that was another addition to our Traps Bible, and you can certainly go out there and learn these skills on your own. It takes a lot of dirt time, or you can come to a class. We obviously run a lot of courses, and you know, most of our instructors learn these on their own. You know, we didn't take classes to learn this. It's just thousands of hours of dirt time. But I always tell people time is money, and if you want to come out and learn these in a weekend versus spending months learning these individual trap sets, it's going to save you a lot of time and heartache learning how to carve these individual notches and a lot of the different things that really make a big difference that we can't cover in all the videos. So as always, we appreciate everything you guys do for us, and you know, if we're not currently in your area, we will be soon. Our instructor program is spreading out all over the planet. We've got a location opening up in Georgia. We're opening in Florida. We've already got a place in Virginia. We're going to be up in the Northeast very soon, as well as the West Coast, and we're going global this year. We've got a school opening up in Nicaragua, and we're planning courses in Sweden as well. So, you know, if we're not there now, we will be soon. Stick with Sigma 3. We are your kind of institute for self-reliance. We do it all. And, you know, we want to train with you guys. We appreciate, you know, you supporting us, and, you know, hit the share, like, and subscribe button, and make sure you tune into the next video. Thanks, and have a great day.